This one is good. Let me share to you one name example. Senseonics. All right. So it's the creators of the first and only long-term implantable CGM. If you are aware of Dexcom, so about like these glucose monitors, this is what it is. So it's a glucose monitor. It's this way. Explore the technology. So Senseonics is a company that has been rallying because, in my view, they have a market, which is, of course, the diabetic market. All right. So rallied from about 40 cents to as high as $4. Typically, these names could go down. That's why it fell here about $2. And then consolidated from about $2 all the way up to $3. So this isn't you being early. I'm just sharing to you like, okay, these are what's happening in the market. A lot of penny stock names. This is what, just January to February. So indeed, the market has roughly made 10x moves, not necessarily in your GMEs or your AMCs only, or your SPACs. Indeed, you can see that a lot of trending names like these are where the Robinhood money's at. So Senseonics. So you can see that there's a trading range from 2 to 4. What is it? News and events. Let's try to see. Publications. Implantable continuous glucose sensor over multiple sensor insertion and removal cycles. So sometimes the market is not necessarily seeing that it is a penny stock. What the market sees is that they've got a lot of news releases and it's possibly just simply undervalued. So let's read this, the news per se on Senseonics. In February 1, they said that initiation of European commercial efforts by partner Asciencia Diabetes Care. In January 28, we're closing $115 million bought deal offering to purchase additional shares. And then increasingly announcing bought deal offerings, $100 million, $50 million, a positive coverage decision for Eversense CGM from Emblem Health, another 50 million registered direct offering, announcing equity grants to employees under inducement plan. That's just one of the news releases seen here in 2021. Let's take a look at 2020. A business update, December 23, a third quarter results, credit financing agreement, participating in Credit Suisse healthcare conferences, employees under inducement plan. All right, so it's interesting. So let's read up on it. Says here, January 28, Senseonics is focused on development and commercialization of implantable CGMs, also known as continuous glucose monitoring systems for people with diabetes. Today, they announced a closing offering of about 60 million shares at a price of $2 per share. Sorry, it's $1.92 per share. The gross proceeds of the offering will be used to discount estimated offerings since regulatory approval to support our collaboration with Asciencia Diabetes Care. Funding, working cash and cash equivalents will be sufficient to fund risk cash flow break even from operations. So it's really a diabetes monitoring system, glucose monitoring system. Senseonics is a med tech company designing, developing, commercializing, transforming glucose monitoring products designed to help people with diabetes confidently live their lives with ease. Senseonics CGM systems, Eversense and Eversense XL, includes a small sensor inserted completely under the skin that communicates with a smart transmitter worn over the sensor. The glucose data is automatically sent every 5 minutes to a mobile app on the user's smartphone. Actually, I have personal understanding of this because my mom is also diabetic, so I'm aware of these glucose monitoring systems. You might be aware of that of a bigger company in the glucose monitoring system that is actually Dexcom. So when you compare the market caps of Senseonics, I can understand why the market is buying this up. Let's take a look at the market cap and the sales of Senseonics. Let's go to finviz.com just for easy access. The ticker symbol SENS. So Diagnostics and Research USA, $900 million market cap. Okay, so don't need to look at the income and sales because if its company is going to grow and they're moving on to a lot of new shares being sold and to partner with a lot, you could see that these big moves are mostly about their business update. In fact, December 23, it went up 50% precisely because of earnings. I'm actually interested, so it's going to read on the business wire. Senseonics, first quarter, okay, recent developments. Revenue has been expected to be approximately $3.5 million. They received communication from the FDA explaining the reallocation of agency resources to address emergency use authorization applications for products related to the COVID-19. So inclusion of EverSense category and for Medicare, establishing global payment for device cost, reach agreement with Roche to facilitate transition of distribution to Ascensia as Roche sales conclude, including final purchases. Strong fourth quarter performance driven by sales in Europe and supported by Ascensia's initial US sales. I guess the more important thing to say here is who is Ascensia. So let's take a look at the Ascensia sales here. Ascensia's. Ascensia's is established in 2016, World Diabetes Care. By PHC Holdings, also known as Panasonic Healthcare Holdings. So they're a $900 million company, and these are the products: Contour Plus blood glucose monitoring systems. If Senseonics is going to be partnered with Ascensias, then you're going to see more distribution of this Senseonics. So I understand why the market is bullish, and I would agree with this. The EverSense CGM systems, so you can learn more about it, Senseonics. Announcing a positive coverage decision, Emblem Health. Let's just read through the news, guys. Who is Emblem Health? They are now providing coverage for the EverSense CGM systems effective immediately this January 19th. This recent coverage decision adds to the growing number of payers who are writing EverSense into their CGM's coverage policy as a way to provide time for the in-office sensor placement. Added coverage will approximately be covering expanding 3 million residents of 3 states. We're very excited to see additional coverage for EverSense, appreciating the payer community's recognition that CGM is now standard care for patients using insulin to manage their diabetes. PhD President and CEO of Senseonics, Tim Goodnow. I'm good with this. Improved glucose control has always been the goal for healthcare professionals and patients. EverSense offers patients a new choice amongst the CGM class, and EverSense is indicated for continually measuring glucose levels in persons under age 18 and older for up to 90 days. Finger stick, BG per measurements, and then you can see about this. All right, so that's a product. Okay, the bigger product in this diabetes market, of course, you've probably heard of Pod and Dexcom. They're in the realms of billions, guys. DXCM is Dexcom, the leader when it comes to all these diagnostics as well. There's a company that is $38 billion. You heard me right, it's 38 times. So even if Senseonics is just a small player here, I do think that Sense is actually going to go higher. So for those who have Sense, just hold on to it.